daughter of the ruler of Dubai, and apparently she used this controversial rule on social media.
So apparently the thing is, it's actually a control thing. I don't know if I can speak about sheikhs.
No, speak.
So these guys actually pay these women to hold a strict diet for like 2 weeks so that they can know that they are in complete control of what that woman is putting.
Once again, welcome to Star Hush, where the tea is still hot and the darkness is deep. And no one does shade like 50 Cent Kid when it comes to French Montana. If French even sneezes wrong, Fifth has a troll prepped, polished, and ready to go. His trolling raised a large box of worms that has many murmuring, but apparently French people aren't just avoiding conflict. He might have encountered something far more sloppy.
So here's where
the trending headline right now is this one. French Montana is apparently engaged to a Dubai princess who has an estimated net worth of $18 billion. It seems like a fairy tale flex, doesn't it? For the typical fan, French appears to have suddenly transcended from the antics of regional rappers to a global royal status. But when the gold plating is removed, the story becomes dubious. There are rumors that this engagement is more about survival than love. You see, French and Diddler were linked in the past. The federal government was allegedly prowling about like vultures, looking into everyone who had anything to do with those infamous bad boy freak-offs, so French allegedly decided it was time for an escape strategy. And what's safer than disappearing into Dubai, where money seems to drop out of the sky, skyscrapers glisten and Lambos sparkle? On paper, it sounds like the perfect retreat. However, every paradise has its shadows. This is where it gets heavy. Those familiar with Dubai's underbelly say that certain of the royal circles are nothing to toy with. The money is untouchable. The ultimate power is not even explained by the scandalous whispers about what goes on behind those castle doors. Reports of princes gathering favorites and Western celebrities being flown out for festivities have been around for a while. They couldn't even be written for HBO because they were so insane. French Montana, who is well known for chasing bags, going to the most extravagant parties and making friends with affluent people, is now sitting on a $7 billion safety net and is nicely entangled with a princess. I think the math is a little too precise. The worst is on the horizon. 50 Cent's shade is more than just a joke because of this. When he states in French that he got bought, he's not only talking about an engagement ring. He claims that French changed one leash for another. He dipped out of Diddler's fire pit and went into Dubai's golden cage. Additionally, despite the cage's opulent exterior, the bars are strong. Furthermore, there is a significantly greater penalty for violating the boundary than the federal government could possibly devise. Think about it. In America, scandals gradually fade. Transactions are even hampered or stopped by government inquiries. But in Dubai, monarchy is something else entirely. They don't just play chess. They own the board. He traded one lord for another, even though the French thought he had won his independence, if even half of the legends about those palaces are true. Additionally, this new master performs for keeps.
Give me some information, like who is it? Who is he? And you know, Frenchie, they got me the tape. They got me the tape of his mother's house, where his mom's work at. You know what I'm saying? The other cribs, the studios, stuff like that.
That's the Cali tape.
Right.
Okay.
Since it is hard to understand French Montana's alleged escape to Dubai without first comprehending how he got engaged with Diddler's empire, let's take a moment to go back in time. You see, after releasing that song, French didn't just walk into a record deal. No, the tea beside that sign always had a strange smell. Additionally, supporters are now paying closer attention to the entire situation than they did before because Diddler has been the target of numerous receipt leaks in recent years. Let's make the correction. French wasn't some starved mixtape artist begging for scraps when labels approached. He had options, real options. Rock Nation surrounded him. Rick Ross and M&G were really interested. Kanye's camp even courted him. But French sat at one of those tables with Diddler, the same man who was notorious for shady deals, seedy house parties, and other commitments that had nothing to do with reducing bars. That's when people started whispering, why would a man with so many doors open choose that one? Bad boy wasn't simply a label though. It was a whole lifestyle. The streets also said that sometimes the lifestyle was the real price of entry. There are rumors that Diddler did more than just hand French a check. He let him in. The unspoken rule that says you'll be rewarded if you play the game. The wild parties, the females, and the so-called freak-offs. Fans have been watching the trend ever since, and every flashback makes the story seem more disorganized. French first admitted that he accepted less money in advance than either Ross or Jay did. So why throw away bigger checks to go with Diddler? Second, every time French showed up, half dead, strolling out of one of those infamous houses, the internet clocked it. Photos and videos that have surfaced from 2016 to 2019 show French looking worn out, and the dates always aligned with Diddler's own celebrations. Coincidence, please? The story took a darker turn in 2024 after Diddler was jailed. Former producers and industry insiders then started to come out, exposing that some of the deals had nothing to do with music. They were about becoming devoted, staying silent, and joining activities unrelated to the studio. One producer was supposedly blackballed by Diddler for refusing to take part in one of those infamous sessions. Oh, we know what that means now. Many people naturally reply, referring to French's rapid rise under Bad Boy. Does a smoking gun receipt have French's name on it? Not quite yet, but things are getting out of control. Diddler gifted him his own Sir French vanilla flavor during one of those late-night gatherings. In that widely circulated birthday video, French is shirtless next to Diddler, who is lounging in a robe. They both seem uncomfortably relaxed. Moreover, it is well known that French himself expressed a desire for the large bag. Diddler, by the way, was the only one who was prepared to give it to Puff. The casual fan thought it was just another label signing. However, it seemed to the streets that a man was giving up something personal to further his career. And for that same reason, a lot of people in Dubai think that French people are playing the same game over and over again. Interview.
Like we said, and now you have real deals on the table. And out of all those, you go with Diddy.
That's not how it really went.
Was it Diddy? Was it Bad Boy MMG?
Yeah, I went to go see Ross. And Ross was like, I got an opportunity for you. I don't have the money for you, but I got the opportunity. I guess because the same thing Meek did, the same thing Wale did. I guess whatever the way the situation, his label was, he wasn't trying to give me the money I wanted. And I wanted like a whole bunch of money. But he was like, look, let's do it like this. Let's call Puff. And let's get him to give you the bag. You can still be MMG / you know what I'm saying? Bad Boy, Coast Boys, yep.
Right. How much money did you get?
The rabbit hole actually opens at this point. In the summer of 2024, French Montana makes an appearance at Paris Fashion Week. LLEGEDLY showing off a fiancé alongside a brand new designer ensemble. Nor are we discussing your typical Bronx romance. This was Shire, a princess who was intimately related to one of Dubai's ruling houses. There's no romance about it. It's a power move. An all-day chess match in the middle of the day. You see, at the same time, federal authorities back home were holding Diddler more tightly. The usual suspects include suspicious money transfers, weird audio rumors, trafficking murmurs, and prosecutors constructing evidence like bricks. All those in Diddler's immediate vicinity were suddenly radioactive. It didn't matter if you were an assistant, a producer, or just someone popping bottles in the background. Subpoenas were flying in every direction. And French, more than a casual acquaintance he was. He was practically Dilla's shadow for years. The birthday trips, the Cyric endorsements, the constant kazines. If the feds were connecting, French's name had to be lighting neon. So what is French used for? He doesn't just retreat. He hops everywhere on the map. Not just into any safe place, however. He is associated with one of the wealthiest dynasties in the Middle East. The Shaka family is rumored to be valued around $18 billion. So long that $7 billion oil money, generational wealth seems like pennies. And you get both money and protection when you are married into it. You are allowed to live in a country that forbids foreigners from interfering in its internal affairs. For a man with ties to someone who is drowning in legal heat, that isn't love. For Cartier, that is survival mode. Look at how fast this romance progressed. The engagement took place concurrently with the escalation of the US probes. Suddenly, Dubai is seeing a higher number of French postings than either New York or Los Angeles. To his admirers, it seems like a fairy tale-like moment of intense love. According to his critics, it is the best escape plan ever created. You should also consider the optics. Every time French posts a picture of himself with his princess, he looks younger, sharper, and as if he has been reborn in luxury. The comments are still haphazard though. "Boy, you traded in dollar for Dubai," a fan commented. The internet isn't believing the fairy tale, and someone else commented, "Better hope those sheikhs don't treat you the same way." Puff did. A man is seen alternating between bosses. Interview 9.
Friend was on a flight with her, and her friend was eating like a very specific diet. So apparently the thing is, it's actually a control thing. I don't know if I can speak about sheikhs.
No, speak.
So these guys actually pay these women to hold a strict diet for like 2 weeks so that they can know that they are in complete control of what that woman is putting into her body, and the girl needs to shit on them.
Wow.
So it's the girls aren't even getting shat on, the girls are shitting on these guys, because then the guys feel like it's sick, like it's a control thing. So then they know like, oh, you listened to me for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
that's
there's no-
probably their kink that girls
Yeah,
actually listen to them.
no too
French Montana probably wishes the blogs would skip this section, but we have to discuss it. Running away from Uncle Sam to the United Arab Emirates doesn't always lead to freedom. Occasionally, it just means that you have a new contract that you are unable to violate. You know, Dubai likes to flaunt its glamorous side. There was a queue of Lambos that looked like Texas. Glass towers reaching the heavens. Pet cheetahs ride shotgun on boats. But for years, there have been sinister whispers beneath the glitz. Influencers and celebrities go crazy in search of tax-free glamour, then secretly come home to spread rumors about palace parties where guests weren't treated like human beings. They were treated the same way as props. It is stated that both men and women are sucked into circumstances that are totally out of their control. This is the truth. When you have a few $1 million and are surrounded by people who have billions, you don't set the rules. They do. Picture French Montana next to the $18 billion business that Sheikh Hamara's family owns. He is not seen as a mogul by them. He is decorative. In Dubai, he is only ornamental, despite his fame abroad. He has enough glamour to draw attention, but not enough strength to fight back if they ever decide he's just another ornament. He lacks both political influence and regal ancestry. Rather than being an escape from Diddler, fans are already characterizing this online as an upgrade to new handlers. The freak-offs in Miami are finished. These days, an entire dynasty runs the lavish residences in Dubai. Furthermore, this family isn't all fairy tales and picture-perfect photos. They have also been involved in global scandals. Remember Shikamar's widely shared Instagram divorce from 2024? She shocked the world by leaving her husband in just 3 words. "I am divorcing you." Such public defiance is unheard of in royal circles. Yes, that is commendable, but it also shows how hectic the backstage life of a palace can get. Their father, the absolute ruler of Dubai, is linked to Princess Shams's alleged kidnapping, Princess Latifah's failed escape attempt, and the sagas of her family. What is the name of French's new father-in-law? Yes, the same despot wrote the headlines. Abruptly, the glittering romance loses its luster. No more. For this reason, the internet's mockery of French's purported $7 billion escape plot makes sense. It is brilliant in idea. In the event that the federal government ever comes calling, lock down residency, marry into ridiculous riches, and hide behind a royal shield. However, socially, it's déjà vu. For years, French has been made fun of as the daughter's favorite companion. The strangely tight celebrations, the unusual styrofoam presents, and the birthday dinners without shirts. The whispers now say that he did not escape that force. All he did was raise the scale. One sugar daddy was replaced by an entire Habibi dynasty. The joke is here. Hip-hop, to us French, has always been about the determined underdog. The Moroccan kid who rose from the Bronx to the major leagues. Dubai royalty isn't a bad boy, though. You don't outshine them. They don't appear awful because of you. You never really outlive your usefulness either. If even any of those palace tales are true, the French did not give up a velvet leash. He secured an ornate gold cage. Interview
I came to Steve Rifkin when I had Chopper Down. I walked in the office, it was him and Gabi. And Gabi was managing me. I was like, yo, Steve, give me $200,000. Let me go make music. You know what I'm saying? Just let me. Steve was like, nah, I'll give it to you.
Never got it.
Never got it. I dropped
Which is
shot
funny
call.
because Gabi's the president
Yeah.
of SRC. Steve is like the CEO, but
Yeah, so I don't know what type of
but
weird.
Steve makes the final call.
Yeah. So I asked for 200,000. You know what I'm saying? And
Now let's be absolutely honest. Neither a blogger nor a fan is the one cracking the loudest French Montana jokes. It is, of course, 50 Cent. Things start to heat up at this point. Fifth is considered as merely trolling for amusement. But what if these alleged jokes are actually warnings? Think about it. 50 is the big bro who doesn't really want to see you burn to death, even if he has the stamina to roast you all the time. For years, he has denigrated French, calling him a leftover, saying he is washed, and ignoring him as though he is nothing. But French is entering a problem. Let's be honest, the French did not travel to Dubai in search of romance. He discovered a whole royal chessboard. Furthermore, in that game, he is not the king. He might be the pawn. But here's the twist. Perhaps the French don't even believe that. The public believes that he traded one leash for another. To him, it most likely feels like a level up. He scampered down stairwells and mixtapes to get into lavish mansions with billion-dollar security. He was born in the Bronx. It shouts caged bird at passers-by. For French, it must feel like a dream. Velvet seats, drivers who are on call, and controversies that are covered up before they appear on blogs. Maybe this is the life he's always wanted. Not free, but incredibly comfortable. The 1950s expressions are so potent because of this. Because there is a truth hidden beneath every dubious post and meme that nobody wants to face. By going it alone, turning street might into corporate authority, and positioning himself as the untouchable boss, 50 built his empire. In the meantime, French could have made his grind into reliance. But in exchange, he got the kind of protection that most rappers could only dream about. Who's really losing here? What? It's ironic. It's a mess. It is also the dilemma that French Montana is currently dealing with. On the internet, he is regarded as property. He must have a royal feeling. That is possibly the strangest twist of all. While 50 Cent is continuously bashing French on social media, French may be sitting in a palace sipping tea and smiling to himself as though this had always been the plan. So I'm asking you, did French just walk straight into another fire after escaping the first one? Or did he execute the most brilliant power move we've seen in years? Please share your opinions in the comments section, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe because the next chapter of this story is going to get even more insane, my stars and my hushers. Hear you,